Good morning, Glasgow Scotties. All right, so today we're going to talk about lesson 5.3, which is multiplying decimals. Our essential question is, how do we multiply decimals? So at the end of today's lesson, we should be able to figure out how to multiply decimals. So in your head, without using paper, pencil, nothing, not in your notes, I want you to take a second and try this problem. It says a biologist earns $22.18 per hour and works 40 hours each week. How much does the biologist earn in 1 week? How much does the biologist earn in 1 year? So go ahead and pause in your head, use some estimation, see if you can get a close answer. Don't take more than like 40 seconds on this. Okay, so we're actually going to come back and learn how to solve this to an actual answer without estimation at the end. So when we are placing a decimal in a multiplication problem, there are some certain steps. So these need to go down in your notes. Placing a decimal in a multiplication problem, we need to count the number of decimals in the factors, count in from the far right of the answer that many places, and place the decimal. Showing our bubblies or our swoopies and rewriting our answer. So showing these, this is our work, okay, for right now. So in our factors, remember factors are numbers that are multiplied together. So we want to count our decimal places. So we have 1, 2 decimal places here and 1, 2, 3 here. So if we add these up, we know that our answer has to have 5 decimal places. So we start at the far right and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and place our decimal point, and then we rewrite our answer. So it should be 212.72288. That is our new answer. So when we actually multiply decimals, it's pretty simple. This needs to be written down in your notes. Okay, we're talking about multiplying decimals, and then there's these 3 steps. We count the number of decimals in the factors like we just did. Then we multiply as we do whole numbers, and then we place our decimal point. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to remove the decimals. We're going to take them out. We're going to multiply like normal, and then we're going to put our decimals back in. So right now I see that this problem has 1, 2 decimal places. There's no decimal places here. So I took this out and it becomes 236 times 6. Now we should know how to multiply, right? 6 times 6 is 36. Carry my 3. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14. Now what I have to do is I have to come back here and take, there were 2 here, so now I'm going to start at the far right, and I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to rewrite my answer, 14. Excuse me. 0.16 is my answer. So really with multiplying decimals, the only difference between multiplying decimals and multiplying like whole numbers is that we have to take the decimals out first and put them back. Otherwise, we're doing that same process. So here, we would take out 1, 2 here and 1 here, and it becomes 314 times 156. Now, this is where graph paper comes in handy, and this is where we need to take our time and make sure we are doing our math correctly, so that way we don't get all like a weird answer at the end. So I know that I should get 3 times 15 is 45, so I should get somewhere around 45 as my answer here. So 6 times 4 is 24. 6, 7, 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Now I used up my 6, so I'm going to put an X below, okay? 5 times 4, I'm going to do this in a different color. 5 times 4 is 20, carry my 2. 5 times 1 is 5, 6, 7. 5 times 3 is 15. Used up my 5, so now there's 2 X's here, so I need 2 X's here. And then it's times 1, so it's 314. And then I add. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 0 is 8. Let's see, that's 11 plus 8 is 19. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4. And then I have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So I go 1, 2, 3, and I get 48.984. Now I had said originally that 3 times 15 is 45. So that's close to 45. So I know that I did this correctly. Okay, go ahead and get out your foldable. We're going to fill out the multiplying decimals part. So the first step is, well, I guess I want to add a step here and we want to remove our decimals. That's a D. So our first step is to go 1, 2, 3, and I like to put a little 3 there, 1, 2. Okay, so we've removed our decimals. Our second step is to multiply as we would whole numbers. So now I have 1159 times 3. And I multiply 9 times 3 is 27. 15, 16, 17. 3 plus 1 is 4, and 3 times 1 is 3. And then I have, so then my next step number 3 here, is to place the decimal. The number of decimal places in the product is the same as the number of decimal places in the factor. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So it needs 5 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so I have an empty swoopy here. This is my decimal. So remember, this is where I have to add those ghost zeros to tether it to my decimal. Then I rewrite my answer, 0.03477. So at this point is where we are going to do some examples together. Make sure that there's nothing here I want to do. We will do this one now. No, we'll do this one together. Yep. Another thing that you might see on your homework is area. Remember that area is always length times width. So here we're doing our length times our width. So it would be 9.35 times 2.2. So if you need to rewrite that formula, please write it down. Your homework assignment for today is not this. Let's see here. I'm going to pause this. Okay, your homework is actually on page 122. It's numbers 4 through 8 even, so 4, 6, 8, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 27 on page 22. So those are the ones that we're doing, and we will do complete and check after I go through the review problems. So good luck. Make sure you ask for help if you need it, please.